Like many of your relatives, my grandparents came to Montana with very, very little. They had to rely on their own hard work. They had to work together with their neighbors to survive, and they had to live within their means. You know what? They made it work. My grandparents and my parents knew the value of a dollar. I know the value of hard work and the value of a dollar. Those are Montana values. We can be proud of Montana's Constitution, the requirement of a balance to balance the budget. That, and darn good leadership over the past few years, has made Montana one of the few states in the nation still operating in the black. A decade ago, the Clinton administration and this country ran a surplus. It is possible. But over the past 10 years, some in Congress have made some pretty bad choices, and it has turned our economy upside down. Instead of gimmicks that cost us jobs, hurt education, weaken our infrastructure, we need to take real steps towards cutting our deficit and balancing our budget. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a credible, long-term strategy. So what's real? Last year, I was able to cut $6 billion in spending from unemployment insurance law. I killed an animal ID program which was wasting millions of tax dollars each year. I voted twice to make sure Congress didn't get a pay raise, and just last month I introduced a bill ending automatic pay raises for members of Congress forever. This week, Tom Colburn, a conservative Republican from Oklahoma, and I teamed up and introduced a bill to make sure that hardworking taxpayers don't have to write unemployment checks for millionaires. It's just common sense, isn't it, folks? And it shows that one party doesn't have all the good ideas. You just have to be willing to work together to cut spending and cut our debt. And as the only Senate Democrat to vote against both bailouts, I will tell you that I will always vote against bailouts. As for a credible long-term strategy, I supported creating a bipartisan panel to recommend a path forward to cut our debt and to cut spending. I read the plan. I don't agree with everything in it, but I support the idea behind these recommendations. We need to cut waste, fraud, and abuse in our entitlement programs. We need to make sure that they continue to work well into the 21st century. We need to take a look at our tax code to make sure it works for middle-class families and to make sure that nobody sidesteps the system. That's what it's going to take to cut our debt and cut spending, not gimmicks. It won't be easy. In fact, it'll be pretty darn difficult. We're going to have to make some tough choices in the weeks, months, and years ahead, because for every expenditure, whether it's a government program or a tax earmark, that has a network of people that support it. For that reason, balancing the budget will be challenging, but that doesn't mean it can't be done. It has to be done, and it can be done without costing us jobs. The key is that no one is excused from sharing in the sacrifice, not the folks who live in the big cities, nor the folks with the Swiss bank accounts, nor the Wall Street banks, nor the K Street lobbyists, nor the insurance giants, or the multinational corporations that send American jobs overseas and that now can secretly fund our political campaigns. Everybody has to feel a little pain. But that doesn't mean we need to take a battle axe to the very things that are creating jobs and building our economy, or backpedal on our commitment to veterans. Think turning public education upside down creates jobs and a business-friendly environment? In this competitive world, it would only take us backwards. And it would shift the tax burden onto local property taxpayers. Does slashing our basic infrastructure like safe roads and drinking water and electrical transmission lines help create jobs? Or saying tough luck to our law enforcement officers or firefighters? Or gutting access to quality, affordable health care? That kind of governing will land us right back in the ditch, and it will not create jobs. We create jobs by investing in education and infrastructure and health and public safety. That's why I'm proud of my vote for the Recovery Act. A bill that put thousands, let me repeat, thousands of Montanans to work. It cut taxes for every Montanan to the tune of $500 million with a B dollars. And it jump-started the infrastructure we need to create jobs. Every region in Montana has a school, a road, a public works system that has been improved and revitalized because of the Recovery Act. The Recovery Act is building the North Central Regional Water System, which will provide clean drinking water to tens of thousands of Montanans. It allowed crews to finish one of our state's fastest growing business corridors, the Shiloh Road in Bozeman. It launched a critical revolving loan fund to keep Montana's timber industry on its feet in a time of very, very tight capital. I know that Carrie Hegerberg and my friends at the Montana Contractors Association have done a great job in taking advantage of the Recovery Act and putting Montanans to work. I want to thank them. And most importantly, the Recovery Act pulled our nation away from the ledge of a catastrophic depression. That's what I call successful stimulus. The only thing that failed about it was a vote against it. Remember this: it is our patriotic responsibility as Americans to govern and budget carefully. It is our patriotic for the businesses in this state and in this country to go the extra mile needed to create jobs right here in America. Offshoring jobs may save you a few bucks, but none of us can afford to cut American workers out of the picture. Invest in jobs here, and you invest in your community and your country. The Natural Baby Company is doing it, the Healthy Pantry, the Stillwater Mine are doing it, a whole bunch of Montana businesses are doing it. Montanans should demand support for Montana jobs from their political leaders, and we should all demand it from our businesses. As we have this debate, we also can't let Montana and rural America shoulder more than their share of the sacrifice. That's all the more reason I need to keep fighting for the priorities of rural America in the United States Senate. I will never give up on Montana. I will never give up on our family farms and ranches, our schools, small businesses, our veterans. Our human infrastructure is too valuable to let that go by the wayside. Letting our roads fall apart or letting our best teachers go somewhere else will cost us jobs, and it will cost us opportunity. We cannot afford to take a backseat to anyone. Despite the differences that we may have in this room, we are all Montanans, and we're all lucky to call this state home. I'm bullish on Montana. In fact, I can't think of a single reason not to be. We've got the people, we've got the resources, and like the generations before us, we've got the opportunity for the taking. Later this month, February 23rd, I'm hosting my 6th Small Business Opportunity Workshop. This one's going to be in Missoula. And I invite every Montanan to attend. You don't have to be a Democrat or Republican to take part. The idea is to work together, to build Montana, to create jobs, and take advantage of every opportunity possible. Montanans aren't afraid to work hard or make tough decisions. Working together will build our state. We'll create jobs. We'll move forward, not backward. We can do it while empowering small businesses, family farms and ranches, and working families. We can do it without ignoring the needs of physical and human infrastructure that we need to stay competitive. We can do it by investing in K-12 education and our university system. Good luck in the weeks ahead, and God bless each and every one of you. God bless this country.